So now going into the tournament. Okay.
Okay, so our second portion that we our main event, pretty much what we have going on at the Queen Mary's, our tournament. And again, 16 girls at 115 are going to be competing for 2,500. Now we kind of covered all over from West Coast to East Coast in regards to that. Probably our biggest name on the show that was having a breakout year last year, Jessica Khan. She's going to be in the tournament right here out of Costa Mesa. So huge name right here local. That's just right off the top. Another locals that we have, I would say, Tabitha Ritchie out of Ventura. She's going to be in the tournament. We got Crystal Vanessa Demopoulos. I think she's fighting for LFA coming up, I think, next week?
It's the 31st,
okay,
January 31st. It's actually on a Friday.
Okay, so she's fighting for LFA in Costa Mesa, so she has a local fight. She turns out Black House. And then going from there, another local, I would say, Bree Stick out of 10th Planet Ventura, and Gina Magui out of 10th Planet Oceanside, San Diego, or area.
Now, is Bree doing also the Olympics, or
yeah,
no?
I think she's at prior. I don't know if she's doing, I haven't heard anything.
I knew she was a qualifier for the Olympics, so.
I'm not sure where she's at in that. I haven't followed up in that. I saw that she did them before, or like trials, so that's why I wanted to bring her out. And then we have another local out of Costa Mesa, Ashley Reyes out of Gracie, Baja, Costa Mesa. Yeah, so she'll be on that. And then kind of jumping from different states, we got Gabrielle Gomez out of Colorado. I think Wilson Brothers Academy. Sorry if I pronounce these names wrong. I know I'm going to get them wrong. We got Chelsea Agoya out of, I can't remember what school she's out of. She's out of the area. I know she's out of Napa, California. I'll give you that. I'll have to look on we got Raquel Torres out of Castro Valley. Let's see, another big, so one of these competitors I'm really excited about, the young competitor, Trinity Pun out of New York. I think she's 14.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So.
Who does she train with?
Henzo Gracie.
Okay.
So I've been watching her. I know I wanted to make sure, I know she's done well, but I wanted to see her like grappling, so I made sure I paid attention, watched her tournaments. I know she did Grappling Idiots and Grappling. I think Grappling. I could be wrong on what tournament, but it was like 35, and she took it down. Small. And she's gonna be, with blue and purple belts in that event, but I won 35, and so she took down that tournament. I watched a couple of her matches. She had against like Danielle Kelly. She took it into overtime. So lost in overtime. So she's don't mistake her age for like an easy match. I watched her and I was really impressed. So I decided to bring her out there. We got Katia Leonteva. So that's another big match in the tournament. A big competitor. Looking forward to see compete. And then we have Cecilia Mene out of 10th Planet New York. Recently, she was here, part of the 10th Planet headquarters in LA, so it'll be exciting to have her back in front of like her home gym competing. We got Katie Egan out of Washington, which is out of Foster and One Jiu-Jitsu. And then Tulsa, Oklahoma is Marie Angel French, Omar French BJJ. Out of Arizona, we got Carla Graciani. And Carla Shahan, I think she did World, she placed. So a lot of our competitors in that tournament either placed at Worlds or won it. So I think last I counted, we had like 7-8 world champs on this show. So pretty excited.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. And I think that's the most exciting thing is that you're getting women out there competing and, from all different areas, not just the local areas. So I think that's a big plus because I see a growth in the women's professionally and amateur level of women starting getting into jiu-jitsu more so in the no-gi as well. So I think it's exciting, and I just want to ask you, what do you expect the outcome is going to be, and how did you decide, basically, what triggered in your head, I'm going to do this?
Well, initially, I already knew I was going to do a women's event, but I didn't know I was going to do an all-women's event. initially I wanted a couple guy matches, and then like as I started doing the women's card, like I just started already getting like a big following and just like attention just like started rolling. So I decided to stick with it. Decided, okay, I'm not gonna do any guy matches. I'm just gonna do all ladies event because I know like the trend right now is that ladies are looking for more opportunities or need more opportunities. They say they don't get paid or there isn't enough events, and I think that's why I wanted to throw this so that okay, here's your chance, and it's similar, I would say, to what. And I'll be honest, I don't know. I know next event is going to be a ladies event as well. Will I add guy matches in the future? Possibly. But I would say right now it's like similar to what Invicta did, all ladies card, and all the guys are trying to get on it. I know I did before I knew it was an all women's event, and don't get me wrong, I've had tons of guys hit me up to be on this show as well. Like everybody wants to grapple on the Queen Mary. It doesn't happen or hasn't happened. So that's what made me decide to stick with it, and I've been getting a lot of support in that sense and a lot of attention, and so I know the girls are getting the attention too, not just me, and which is helping them get the attention. So that's why I decided to stick with it and do all ladies event.
Now, you have a great, amazing teacher of Eddie Bravo that had the EBI women's on there. Did you take a little bit from there? And I'm going to ask you also, what are the rule sets for this event?
So yes, there's a couple of females that were on the EBI card that are on my card. I would say Jessa, and I added that tournament actually. I think Jessa and Chelsea are probably the only ones that were out of that card. I've had other girls that were on his show before they're on the card. So for the tournament, they are following the EBI format, which is 10-minute regulation, 10-minute rounds, no submission. They go into an overtime, which is 3 2-minute rounds, where it's either the fastest escape or fastest submission for the competitors. And then for our super fights, we're following a different format. We're going to have an optional overtime if it goes to no submission at the end of regulation. So at the end of regulation, if nobody submits each other, they'll get the opportunity to decide for sudden death or not. Both of them have to agree. If they decide to, it's 1 minute takedown.
Are you going to do like a coin toss, or are you just going to...
No, it's just like first competitor, neutral, yes. Second competitor, neutral, yes, cool. Or once one says no, it goes to ref decision. And then a lot of, one of the things about these competitions, like, oh, I left it to the judges, or, oh, I shouldn't have left it to the judges. Now here's your chance to actually not leave it to the judges, right? Mm-hmm. So there's also a little bit of engagement. That's what I want to do, because now there's going to be some crowd engagement, because either they're going to be happy or not happy when you decide one or the other, right? But there's also going to be, if you win a decision, you get paid a certain amount, and if you win in overtime, you get paid more. So there's incentive to going into overtime, right? So
kind of the opposite of what EBI is, because EBI, Eddie doesn't want anybody to go to overtime. He wants it to
end it. Like, what in everybody, you want to win in regulation, but I also don't want it to go to rest decision. I don't want it to be like, oh, I should have won. Those refs are horrible judges. All right, here's a chance. Like, you can say it. But also, you can play with the rules in that sense. Maybe you knew you crushed that regulation time. You don't need overtime. You don't want to risk it. Take the win. I don't want to go to overtime. Or maybe you knew you got crushed. Like, I need a chance when you go to overtime. So.
And I think part of the reason why Eddie has it for as soon as possible is because EBI too, and I know this because I actually worked it. We were there till 2:00 in the morning, and that was because everybody was going into and that was also because we had 2 16-man tournament going on, and we were in so growing pains at that time too.
Hoping for a lot of submissions that didn't happen, right? Yeah.
So that's and then they're under UFC regulations of making sure that it gets done during a certain amount of time. But so I'm interested in you stating that you want it to go into overtime.
Yes. Well, which is there's not going to be 3 2-minute rounds. It's 1 minute and that's it. Mm-hmm. So. I don't have to sit around and wait for something to happen or not happen. We know, like, at the end of this, like, cool, okay, it's a draw. So there are draws, too, as well. If you decide to go overtime, no takedowns happen, then it's a draw, and that's okay.
If they both decide to go into overtime to sudden death, what is the time limit for that?
1 minute.
1 minute only.
Yes.
So
for
if
the
nobody
super
gets a
fight.
takedown, then
It's a draw.
it's a draw.
Yes.
Okay. And then the other way is the EBI way where,
That's for the tournament. So this,
okay, it's only for the tournament,
only for the
not for
tournament,
the super fight.
not for the super fight.
Okay, okay.
For the
I
tournament,
understand.
there has to be a winner. Right? The super fights, there doesn't have to be a winner.
Are you getting any kind of support from Eddie?
Not yet. I mean, I have a couple of his competitors. I know I've been working with Master Vic. He's been helping out with the mat and the stage, the connection. So yes, in that sense, we're going there, and his crew's helping out with that. So
Yep.
yeah.
Once a 10th Planet family, always a 10th
Yeah.
Planet family.
What I realized, like once I started doing this event, I'm starting to meet a lot more, or get a lot more connections, or just meeting people and talking to people. So that's definitely helping and going in that direction.
Well, that's fantastic. I can't wait to see you guys perform, and it's going to be a great tournament. I just, it's just unbelievable that you actually got it at the Queen's Mary, and, hats off to you because that's very difficult to do, and I applaud you for that, and I applaud you that you are really supporting the women on there. I think that's fantastic, and we look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you then.